Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to my KSP Realistic Progression 1 playthrough. I will be playing through RP-1 and this is going to be my take on my playthrough. So this might not be the best way to play this game. However, it might be the fun way to play this game. It will contain a lot of montages and cinematics. It won't be me talking much, just me explaining before a cinematic. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this very much as I will be enjoying this while playing this game. So let's get started. So the first flight of our space program will be of this copy of Cessna with a ridiculously oversized engine, which should be able to put this thing quite high up in the sky. So this will be our first flight, and the first flight is really nothing, just a flight test for this. Flight goes successfully and we are able to fly the Cessna without any issues in handling the plane. So it's time to return the aircraft back and test if it has suffered any damages due to the modified engines. So it is time to get back on the runway. That was the smoothest landing that the Kerbals have ever seen in their lives. So the pilot is now given a very long leave for the rest of his life. The next flight of Cessna will test the aircraft's capabilities to fly at higher altitude. So it is time to launch our first rocket that will go up into space. And there goes our fidget spinner. Next up is the final launch of the Cessna, and we decided to air launch this thing and see how far we can push this. This would also mean that the propeller driven planes would come to an end, and we'll switch to jet engines instead, and newer technologies of thrusting the planes forward. Newer forms of propulsion is always welcome, so upgrading to a new form will definitely upgrade the capabilities of the next generation planes. Concluding our last flight of the Cessna, we will now move on to newer forms of planes and even more rocket missions. So first one we will do is launch biological capsule up there with living beings, so you can see if something can be sent to space and returned safely back. Recovering the capsule, it was found that there was no adverse effect on the living beings that were sent out in space. So that means that we can even send people out in space and they should have no problem whatsoever. After that, we needed a way to break the sound barrier, so we decided to build an X-plane and break the sound barrier with the X-1 rocket engine plane. This aircraft is powered by a rocket engine, and subsequent modifications will be made in future missions to make it even capable and fly in the high ground. So the first flight goes up successfully and we reach the speed of sound, and we try to land it on a nearby water source, which does go, by the way, very smoothly, almost smoothly. Now, to prove that this is actually viable for future mission to higher up in atmosphere, we need to test the aircraft multiple times and fly it at a lower altitude. Aircraft suffers a small damage to its body and the pilot goes away uninjured. I hope he's okay, because this flight was certainly very scary for him and very nauseating. I hope he didn't vomit all over the cockpit, because we are certainly reusing that. The cockpit is not the problem here, the body was the problem, so we get rid of the body now. Now it is time to send something into space and then recovering that impact. Part of the capsule containing fuel tanks and a mic is strapped on top of the rocket, parachute attached to it, and then launched. This mission, we recover we have also strapped on a biological capsule.